Hi guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing my 5-star predictions video. This was a video that was first put up by Mercedes over at Mercy's Bookish Musings. I'll put a link to that video down below. And basically in that video she chose 5 books off of her shelf that she thought were going to be 5-star reads for her. And then later on the idea was that she would read them and report back on whether they did actually turn out to be 5-star reads or not. So I'm jumping on the bandwagon. There have been quite a few booktubers putting up their versions of this recently, so I thought I would do that too. So I've got 5 books to share with you that I think are going to be 5-star reads for me. The first of those books is The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. I've had this for a little while now and just haven't got around to picking it up yet, but I really do think I'm going to enjoy it. This is a book set in Australia and it is about a couple who live on a small island, and there's, I believe, a lighthouse on the island, and I think the husband in the couple is in charge of the lighthouse or something like that. And one day a boat washes up to the shore with a body in, but it also has a baby in it, a live baby. And this couple decide to keep the baby but don't tell anybody kind of what they found and what happened, so pretend that this baby's theirs, and it's about kind of what happens as a result of that. I've heard quite a few people say really good things about this, people that I really trust, and every time I talk about it on my channel somebody in the comments tells me that it is really good and I will really enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to watching the film as well, so it's a double sort of anticipation with this one. Yeah, and I love books set in Australia, so I think that'll be a 5-star read for me. The next one I've got to show you is one I talked about in my mid-year book freak out tag as one that I wanted to try and read before the end of 2017, and that is Half of a Yellow Sun by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This will be the 4th book that I'll have read by her. And I really enjoyed Purple Hibiscus, which was her first book. Didn't enjoy as much Americana, and then I've also read her TED Talk. Is it called How to Be a Feminist? I can't remember, I'll put it on the screen for you. This is, I think, her 2nd novel, and it won the Orange Prize for Fiction in 2007. So I think I'm really going to like it because it's giving me more sort of Purple Hibiscus vibes, and I think I'm going to like it more than I did Americana. So on the back it says it's 1960s Nigeria. I think Purple Hibiscus was 1980s Nigeria, I think so. And it's a country blighted by civil war and 3 lives intersect. Ugwu, a boy from a poor village, works as a houseboy for a university lecturer. Ulana, a young woman, has abandoned her life of privilege in Lagos to live with her charismatic new lover, the professor. The 3rd is Richard, a shy Englishman in thrall to Ulana's enigmatic twin sister. When the shocking horror of the war engulfs them, their loyalties are severely tested as they are pulled apart and thrown together in ways that none of them imagined. I remember when this won the Orange Prize for Fiction, and lots of people were sort of heaping praise on it and saying great things about it, so I really do think I'm going to like that one, and I'm a big fan of her writing anyway. The 3rd book that I think is going to be a 5-star read is The Last Days of Cafe Leila by Donya Bijan. This is a book that Russell from Ink and Paper blog sent to me. I'll leave a link to his channel for you after I won a giveaway that he put up on his channel. And this is actually one that I've got on my pile next to my bed of things that I really want to read in September, so I'm hoping to get around to it this month. This is a book about a woman and her daughter who live in America, I believe in San Francisco, but they have to move back to her home country of Iran, I think, when she breaks up with her husband. I think that's right. And her father owns a restaurant in Iran, so she sort of gets back into the swing of helping in her father's restaurant. And I think it's kind of to do with her trying to work out what her identity is because of her different cultural backgrounds and where she's been living, and the fact that she is a single mother and she's divorced, and I think she's trying to kind of work out who she is and how her place in the world and how she fits into society. I think this is going to be a 5-star read for a number of reasons. Firstly, Russell has said that I will really like it, and he said some really good things about it, so I trust his opinion, definitely. Also, it's got that kind of cultural twist to it, which I love. Books that teach me about different cultures and take me to different cultures and different places. I've never read a book that's set in Iran before, so that would be really good. But also the kind of food element to it. I love books that are about food in some sort of sense, so I think this is going to be very evocative and, yeah, an assault on the senses, shall we say. So yeah, that's the third one. I thought I'd throw in a non-fiction book into the mix, and so the fourth book that I think is going to be 5 stars is Another Day in the Death of America by Gary Young. Again, a lot of people have talked about this on BookTube. To be honest, I haven't seen a lot of people sort of mention it in a wrap-up. I've seen them haul it a lot and sort of talk about how they think it's going to be amazing, but I don't actually think I've seen anybody talk about what it was like to actually read it. I think this is going to be a 5-star read for me because it's about such an important topic, about gun crime in America and about young people losing their lives to guns in America. I think because I read The Hate U Give and loved it so much earlier in the year, this is going to be a great non-fiction book to kind of follow up from the themes and the topics that were in The Hate U Give. Yeah, and I just think it's going to be good. It's a non-fiction book, but it's quite short. It doesn't appear to be that dense. I think it's about 250 pages. And the other reason is because I quite like reading about true crime, and this is exactly what this is, sort of. But yeah, it's about true crimes and the sort of consequences of them and things like that. But I also think we're going to get Gary Young's opinion on gun crime and the availability of guns in America in general. So yeah, that's number 4. And the last book that I think is going to be a 5-star read for me is Small Island by Andrea Levy. This says at the top that it won the Whitbread Book of the Year and the Orange Prize for Fiction as well. This has been highly acclaimed, and it is definitely one that I think is going to interest me greatly. This is set in post-war Britain, so post-Second World War, and I believe it's about sort of the clash of cultures at that particular time in Britain. So I'll read you what it says at the back. It is 1948 and England is recovering from a war, but at 21 Nevern Street, London, the conflict has only just begun. Queenie Bligh's neighbours do not approve when she agrees to take in Jamaican lodgers. But with her husband Bernard not back from the war, what else can she do? Gilbert Joseph was one of several thousand Jamaican men who joined the RAF to fight against Hitler. Returning to England as a civilian, he finds himself treated very differently. Gilbert's wife Hortense, too, had longed to find a better life in England. But when she joins him, she's shocked that London is far from the golden city of her dreams. Even Gilbert is not the man she thought he was. Small Island explores a point in England's past when the country began to change. In this delicately raw and profoundly moving novel, Andrea Levy handles the weighty themes of empire, prejudice, war and love with a superb lightness of touch and generosity of spirit. I think just the point in history that we've got here is one that's making me think I'm really going to find it captivating, and it's going to be a 5-star read for me. And then, you know, the themes that she seems to be covering, I think are really going to hit home for me as well. So I haven't read anything by Andrea Levy before. This is actually shown up on a couple of A-level reading lists, sort of on the specification for students to study. So yeah, really interested to see whether I like that one. So there you go guys, they were my 5-star predictions. What I'm going to do is going to sort of prioritise these 5 books to read over the next few months, and then I will report back on whether they were actually 5-star reads for me. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. Have you read any of these? What did you think of them? Do you think they are going to be 5-star reads for me? I was sort of thinking of doing a video about how I rate books for 2 reasons really. One's that, you know, you guys know how I do it, but 2 because I think I'm finally sort of getting to grips with the exact way that I want to rate books. So let me know in the comments below as well whether you think that you'd like to see that video, and I'll definitely make that. Thanks very much for watching guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.